This video is interesting. I would have not expected for that to come on my For You, but hey, it's here. What you don't know about the clown panic in 2016, completely spooked, by Broke Sharks. Brook Sharks. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Anyways, we'll look at that. It even got a little note, satanic panic. Anyways, that sounds very interesting. Yeah, anybody remember the killer clown thing back in the day? Where like people were dressing up as clowns and then scaring people? Yes, I remember that. I did even see occasionally some people while driving through cities that just randomly wore like scary clown costumes. That was in generally an interesting trend, but we'll have to see. And there were absolutely 100% crimes committed while doing this.
Today's video is sponsored by Aura. Hi dudes, I'm Brooke, and today, in honor of Halloween, we're continuing a little segment I have here on my channel called Completely Spooked, where I discuss something relatively spooky, creepy, or otherwise mysterious. Today's topic was suggested by the user ShayButter2859, so shout out to them, thank you very much. If you guys ever want to suggest a topic for me to cover, by the way, please do so. I do my best to read my comments, but I will always see the comments under my posts tab, and I see most of my Instagram and TikTok DMs as well. As you've probably noticed from the title of the video and the thumbnail, and nothing else really, today we're talking about the clown sightings of 2016. And don't completely freak out, but in 2016, I was 20 years old. For those of you who are frantically doing math right now,
You must be 29 or 28.
to age me, I will save you the trouble, I'm 29. A very gorgeous and radiant 29, right?
Hag. It's over. Actually, correction. It's been over for 5 years. You have been a hag for 5 years. This is not me saying this. This is what the general population of VTubing is saying. You're cooked.
Anyway, 2016 was a wild year for me. I started cosmetology school, I started dating my now husband, I lost all remaining hope I once had in the US electoral process, and there were mysterious clown sightings all over the world. These sightings started in August of 2016 in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and soon spread throughout the United States, and in early 2017, even to inside the White House. But back to August. People dressed as clowns were seen creeping into the woods, walking roadsides, and loitering near schools. What initially started as isolated incidents quickly became something much.
Not gonna lie, if somebody as a joke would pull up on me in a creepy clown's costume, somebody is dying, and spoiler alert, it's not me. If you should pull up in a costume like that with a bat, your rear end will be much wider than it was before. Yeah.
Much larger and weirder. Over the following weeks, these reports spread across the country and beyond. Suddenly, it wasn't like a weird local phenomenon, it was Mr. Worldwide.
Darling.
And speaking of worldwide, you know what else is worldwide? The World Wide Web. Let me tell you how you can stay safe surfing it with today's sponsor, Aura. Today's video is sponsored by Aura. Dudes, do you feel safe on the internet? Do you know that data brokers are making billions, with a B, selling personal information without your consent and destroying your privacy in the process? These brokers make no effort to stop scammers, spammers, and stalkers from.
I'm gonna quote Metatron here. Privacy is dead. And it is. Privacy is dead. It's dead. It is. Privacy is dead. And it will be more and more dead as we progress. It's already a dead body. But it will be even more dead in like, what? 5 more years?
Buying it either. I genuinely get worked up thinking about it because it's just so unjust. And you guys know how I am when things are unjust. These sites collect and sell everything. Your address, your phone number, your relatives, your income, and
that sounds horrible. Yeah, your relatives. Data brokers just breaking into my house, stealing my mom and selling her online on eBay.
sometimes even details about your habits, and then they just hand it out to whoever's willing to pay. And a lot of times, those people have nefarious intentions. I personally was getting up to 50 spam calls a day at one point, and was genuinely considering getting a new phone number. It's so irritating, and it made me miss so many actual calls that I was waiting on because I just got so used to the spam that I didn't want to answer my phone at all anymore. This is an actual redacted report from one of those brokers. Pages worth of detailed information about one single person, and it's all for sale. It's extremely creepy, it's invasive, it's dangerous, and it's happening constantly without you ever giving permission. But with today's sponsor Aura, you can actually fight back. Aura protects your personal information by identifying data broker sites that are selling your info, automatically removing that info, and keeping it off of those sites. There are other services that do that too, but none of them offer as many features as Aura does for the same price.
Can we actually prove that Aura is, by the way, doing this? Like, can we actually literally verify that they're doing this? Because honestly, sometimes I feel like this shit is a scam. Especially with how many data brokers there are, you are not safe. I feel like this is always going to happen. There's just going to be new brokers spawning like rats.
For example, Aura provides 24/7 monitoring to keep your identity secure, a secure VPN, antivirus, a password manager, and more. And if anything does happen, Aura includes $5 million in identity theft insurance protection. And they have US-based fraud experts ready to help 24/7. And dudes, that is just a few of the many features that make Aura so great. Aura isn't just about data removal, it's a full privacy suite. And the best part, you can try Aura for free for 14 days at aura.com/brookesharks. That's enough time for Aura to start scrubbing your personal info off of those data broker sites. Seriously, even if you think you've got nothing to hide, take a look at how much of your data is already out there. It'll make your skin crawl. I'm not leaving myself vulnerable, and you shouldn't either. Go to aura.com/brookesharks to start your 14-day free trial today. Thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video. Now back to me. To understand why this clown thing got so much attention in the first place, we have to think of the environment at the time. After all, we live in a society. In 2016, social media was evolving very rapidly, and platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Vine obviously pushed viral content, especially things that were sensational.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
That was actually the hottest meme of 2016? Like, for real? No way that was the hottest meme of 2016. What the fuck? I am old.
At the same time, the idea of an evil clown had long existed in pop culture. From Stephen King's It in 1990 to Twisty the Clown in American Horror Story in 2014, it had been a long time since society had thought of clowns as just fun children's entertainment and not also as scary horror villains.
I mean, have you seen the McDonald's clown? That thing is a fuel for nightmares. No.
This was around the time of internet horror culture also, like creepypasta, which was already seeing young audiences blurring fiction and reality. To put it into perspective, the Slenderman stabbing was only 2 years prior to this. So given all of that...
What the fuck? The girl who tried to kill for Slenderman? What the actual fuck? That is a thing? Diabolical.
Put it into perspective, the Slenderman stabbing was only 2 years prior to this. So given all of that, in 2016, the world was ready to believe that something bizarre really could be happening. It's kind of reminiscent to me of the satanic panic of the 80s and 90s. As I mentioned before, the first sightings of a clown wandering around were in Green Bay, Wisconsin in early August. You know, where the cheese people live. This is when a clown was photographed wandering the downtown streets at night, scaring residents and in turn making headlines. This creepy clown was actually called Gags, and he was a marketing stunt put out by Adam Krause, the writer, director, and producer of the short film Gags.
We made its world premiere at the Cinepocalypse Genre Film Festival in Chicago.
Remember that thing?
Yes, when those photos were first.
So bro essentially, okay? Bro essentially made a advertisement for a short film, and it turned into a widespread scary story, so to speak. Interesting.
Released. We didn't know it was about a movie, and we just thought there was some creepy clown walking around Green Bay.
Well, imagine it's the middle of the night and you see that.
No, that's scary. That's
Thanks.
terrifying.
The next major reports were in late August of 2016 from Greenville County, South Carolina. Residents of the Fleetwood Manor apartment complex reported that clowns were attempting to lure children into the woods with money.
Came back, was like, it's a clown, it's a clown. So everybody was like, no, it's not, no, it's not. They went and got other kids and all of them come out, then they come back crying. So we was like, all right, it must be something in the wood.
Well, deputies say there have been several reports of people dressed like clowns with flashing green lasers and enticing kids with large amounts of money. Authorities are now patrolling that area.
Police investigated this, but
There's van clowns. That's crazy. These guys, that's crazy.
they found no evidence, and no suspects were identified. No photos or videos confirmed the accounts either. Then, in Winston-Salem, North
While they do wear makeup, it's gonna be hard identifying somebody through that makeup. That's gonna be a rough one.
Carolina, there was a similar report, this time of a clown offering candy to children.
Families in this neighborhood along East 29th Street are terrified tonight.
Now it's candy. The clown van is real. The van clown is real. What the fuck? Angel, by the way. Angel. That's a cool surname.
After a clown reportedly appeared inside these woods offering kids treats to lure them inside.
These kids were so terrified that this man actually tried to lure them in the woods. Man or woman, we don't know. But, you know, it's somebody in these woods that's trying to get these kids. I was scared and mad at the same time. You know, I wanted to get them myself.
This clown allegedly fled when the cops arrived, which you have to respect because I'd imagine that was very difficult in those giant shoes. Within days, similar reports began appearing across the United States. Each new story seemed to fuel the next, regardless of verification or lack.
What's next? The police chase? With a clown driving a clown car? What's next, buddy?
Thereof. What began as a few unrelated local stories soon kind of merged into this single narrative that these mysterious evil clowns were appearing everywhere and their purpose was unknown, but it had to be nefarious. By mid-September, reports of clown sightings had multiplied dramatically, and by October, there were reports from almost every US state. And of course, all of this was just being fueled by social media. People were taking to social media to post videos of different clown encounters, to warn others of clown sightings, and to stage their own clown content.
Oh my god! Get in here! What the fuck? Go, fuck! Oh my god! Go! What the fuck? Holy fuck! Oh my god! Oh my god! What? Oh sh! And then I look up, then I see this fucking clown right there, which freaked me out, bro. No, but like, how do you even get up there?
Bro is T-posing! Holy clown! I mean, we had definitely, here in Europe, instances where this did turn malicious, where this did turn into crime. I remember in a city like, what, 30, 40 kilometers away, they did break into places. And they did absolutely scare people. There were also cases of these clowns being, like these people, like people being the shit out of them.
What the hell?
Oh, whoa, what the fuck, shit. Bro?
Hey, bitch, what the fuck? Oh, hey, oh shit, go! What the fuck? What the hey, chill!
A lot of these videos were clearly hoaxes or pranks.
Yep. See, the thing is, however, if somebody did prank me and running towards my car, would it be legally fine to run them over? Even if it's a prank? I don't know if it's a prank. It could not be a prank. Would it be legally problematic to run them over?
But some of them seemed actually real enough to scare people. News outlets were covering the story, often amplifying little local reports into national news. And naturally, as this media attention grew, so did the number of people dressing up as clowns for attention, or pranks, or simply to participate in the phenomenon.
Okay, enough time has passed, so I need some of you to start fessing up. Who the hell was dressing up as a clown and chasing people back in 2016? Like, did we ever get to the bottom of why this was happening, where they were coming from, what any of their motives were, who they even were? Like, were these clowns that do that professionally, like as their job, or were they random adults just dressing up in Party City costumes? Because if so, what business did you have chasing around innocent middle school kids? You really just had to be there, because these were not even isolated incidents. This was a nationwide epidemic. Like, every single day, new viral video of a clown sighting here, news reports. Like, even in my rural, suburban-ass neighborhood I lived in, I got chased by a clown on my way home from the park one night on my bike. Have never pedaled faster in my entire life. My 14-year-old ass was living in a constant state of fear and panic, and I was not making it better for myself by constantly watching these YouTube compilations. scary as hell. Like, even the schools and
I mean, I wasn't particularly scared, right? I didn't take it too seriously. Like, you saw the occasional, right? You drove home in a bus, and you would see, like, the occasional clown. It was already dark, right? Because when you have longer schools, it might already be dark. You may need to walk home in the dark, fine, right? You may see an occasional one in the bus, like, when you drive by in the bus, but that was really it. That was really it. Except from the horror stories I've heard from, like, the city, that they broke into something and that they, like, there was, like, a beating and shit. Aside from that, nothing particularly crazy.
the colleges were sending out letters to the students and the parents, like, warning us, banning anything clown related. Like, for that full fall semester, we couldn't even bring balloons to school. Sorry if it's your birthday, you can't fucking celebrate because you might be a clown. And then one day, it just randomly stopped. Like, we never saw another one again, never heard about any type of conclusion. I know some of you watching this were responsible. Please speak up. Like, I need answers.
I have a confession. I was one of those clowns y'all saw in 2016. Yet I would, and yes, Pocket would, yet I would take the legal risk over the crazy clown risk. True.
I actually put two and two together. But if you guys remember in 2016 where it was like the whole clown thing and it was clowns everywhere and clowns was chasing people, I think I was one of those clowns, but like not really. Because I worked at Spirit Halloween, right? And part of my job at Spirit, I had to dress up and go stand on the side of the street with a sign. So I would always dress up like a clown or like
Casualty. We call it a casualty. Pranks are fun, but no, if you overdo it, you may get hurt, or you may hurt somebody else.
like something where I can put like I specifically remember the one where you put it over your head and it was like orange hair and it was a scary clown face. And I would dress up in one of the costumes as a clown and I would dance on the side of the road with my sign. But sometimes I would just stand there and wave. So it just looks like a fucking clown waving. I think I was one of the clowns of 2016. That's what I'm trying to say.
Maybe I'm just not as interesting as the girl you had before.
Wait, what? How I sleep knowing I'll never relate this alert because I was one of the clowns during the 2016 evil clown sighting. Bro, that's crazy.
Maybe I'm just not as interesting as the girl you had before.
Yeah, bro. That'd be terrifying as shit. Yeah. But hey, this would also be a moment in history. Time to get the clussy. If you know, you know.
And as such, the line between what was a joke and what was actually a threat was very blurred. As this went on, this viral hysteria produced actual tangible effects. Schools began issuing warnings to be on the lookout for clowns. And in some cases, they even went into
looking for clowns, huh? That's like in schools? Looking for clowns in schools is not that hard. There's plenty.
temporary lockdowns due to reports of clowns nearby. Police departments across the country received dozens of calls daily. Most of these were unfounded, but the fear was real. Big retail stores like Target and Walmart actually temporarily stopped selling clown masks and costumes to prevent any potential incidents and likely subsequent lawsuits. These shenanigans led to at least 12 arrests for things like false reports, threats, and chasing people. In some cases, people dressed as clowns were actually assaulted or scared off by residents or vigilante groups. Somebody even unfortunately died as a result of the clown situation when 16-year-old Christian Torres was stabbed to death.
12 arrests. 12 arrests. That's crazy. I mean, this doesn't surprise me. This really doesn't.
Because he was wearing a Halloween mask, and a man confronted him and things escalated. In some sources, I saw that he was wearing a mask from The Purge, and in other cases, it said it was a clown mask. But regardless, the consensus seems to be that the reason the man confronted him in the first place is because he assumed, due to the clown panic, that Christian was going to mess with the neighborhood kids because of the mask. So regardless, very, very sad and unnecessary. Within just a few months, the clown...
Of course. Accidents happen. But yeah, if a crazy clown was pulling up, I'd be good.
Clown phenomenon had moved from a bizarre and entertaining story on social media into a real-life physical danger, and even caused real tragedy. Even without any verification that the clowns were connected or...
Also, at that point, if you know this is going on and you do get arrested, at that point it's FAFO.
Had even done anything, the perceived threat had fucked people up enough that they were willing to legitimately throw hands. Like I said, by October, the clown hysteria had spread to well beyond the United States. Reports had appeared in the United Kingdom, Australia...
Imagine, right? You're just a guy in a clown costume doing your job, and then strangers just beat your ass. They just whoop you out of fear that you might be crazy. I wouldn't put that one on my resume.
New Zealand, Germany, and more. Schools abroad issued similar warnings, and police departments in Europe released statements urging citizens to just stay calm about the whole thing. Professional clown associations voiced their concern over damage to their reputation throughout this whole thing, emphasizing that real performers had nothing to do
I think the McDonald's clown already did enough
with all of these shenanigans. And I know you've all been on the edge of your seat waiting the entire time if I'm going to address how the Insane Clown Posse and the Juggalos handled this.
Fucking magnets, how do they work?
So don't worry, I will. Violent J of the Insane Clown Posse did put out a statement about it. In an article he wrote for Time magazine, he says the following. Rolling Stone called the rash of reports a hoax in a recent article that also pointed out that way back in 1981, when me and my partner in rhyme and best friend Shaggy 2 Dope were in grade school, there were reports of so-called phantom clowns supposedly driving around in vans, harassing kids, and in some reports...
History repeats itself, are you arguing? Phantom clowns. Phantom clowns. Interesting.
Wielding weapons like machetes. Despite the many reports, police could not confirm one incident of this wave of sightings, and not a single phantom clown was ever arrested. Cut to 2016. Everyone once again is seeing so-called killer clowns everywhere, popping out of bushes, threatening people on social media, and assorted other public pranks. Cops have actually arrested a few people this time around, though, because there's a lot of copycats out there, and mass hysteria has a way of making people do stupid shit. He also goes on to say in this that the real clowns are politicians, and they're scarier than juggalos.
I tried to eat my cell phone. He ran away.
Anyway, by November, the number of reports had began to significantly decline. Arrests had been made, media attention had waned, and Halloween had passed without really a...
Meaning an additional incident. Okay, so here's the thing. Eventually, the stuff would just die down, right? As all trends do. Trends do die down, and this trend did die down.
Major incident. Effectively, the panic had burned out just about as quickly as it had began. Still, this whole panic left a lasting mark. People talk about the 2016 clown panic to this day. I mean, I'm literally doing it right now.
Fun fact, if you didn't know, here in Germany, we did have a second arise of the clowns in 2018. Halloween 2018. We did have a second wave of this. I don't know if other countries experienced this, but we had a second panic, so to speak.
It's a pretty crazy example of how rumors and conspiracies can legitimately manifest what they're afraid of. In this case, there likely would not have been a worldwide clown epidemic if people hadn't posted a bunch about it in the beginning and come up with conspiracies about what was actually nothing. Because they did, though, it became so viral that people thought it would be funny to go out dressed like clowns and scare people or walk around aimlessly and be in on what had effectively become, for most people, a bit. But look what we lost. Ronald McDonald is gone, and it's all our fault. As one Redditor put it, dude brought us burgers and fun for decades, and they took him out back and shot him like a sick dog. Speaking of Reddit, guys, you should join the official brookeshark sub. It's a grand time over there. I think there are...
Nah, Reddit is a filthy swamp. I'm sorry. It is. It is. Get out of my swamp. Do not get into the swamp.
There are a few reasons why the clown panic spread so quickly. First, so many people are terrified, no pun intended, or put off by clowns. There's something very uncanny about them due to their fixed expressions and exaggerated movements. I like clowns personally, but it's very common for people to be afraid of them, or at least not a fan of them. Coulrophobia, probably pronouncing that wrong, is fairly common as far as
Coulrophobia. Extreme or irrational fear of clowns. It has emerged that the multimillionaire entrepreneur suffers from coulrophobia. Yeah. Where was I? Interesting. That there's a clown phobia. History repeats itself sooner or later, but always accurate, true.
Phobias go, and 1 in 10 adults describe having some discomfort or fear around clowns in general. So it makes sense why horror movies make them the villain so often. Another reason I think the clown panic spread the way it did was due to social contagion. Like when one person claims to see a clown, other people start looking for one. And that leads me to the next point, which is attention. Social media platforms reward engagement. Shocking content gets people to click, gives comments and shares. Each new post feeds the algorithm and gets people more exposure. And lastly, moral panic. This is like the widespread fear that a certain group or behavior is going to threaten the social order. Again, very reminiscent of the satanic panic of the 80s and 90s. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it right there. For more videos, check out my second channel, brookeshark Bites, where I post beauty and lifestyle content. A lot of you guys comment on my videos asking if I have a makeup tutorial or a hair tutorial. Obviously today's not a great example, but I do on my second channel. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and you can join my Patreon. I post some extras over there, and I also have a Patreon.
All right. So what did we learn from this? It was mostly hysteria. Literally just a panic. Nothing more. They weren't particularly scary, though definitely there were some instances, right? There were people arrested, and I did see some myself, but nothing crazy. And we did have a second wave in 2018. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.